interest can be, well, they use the terminology wiped out. I didn't particularly like that terminology, but it can be at the time that a payment is made, then the interest can be eliminated from it. Because basically this is not the property owner's error, it is our error in the town. So I have sent a letter, which I gave you a copy of, to the property owners explaining the situation and telling them that this letter is actually in lieu of a tax bill, because there again, the system will not permit me to print a new tax bill to send to them. When the payment is made, then the interest will be removed, the added interest to it.
So are they paying the amount without the interest, or are they paying it with the interest and they get the interest back?
They are paying the amount without the interest.
Okay.
I have said in the letter that as of whatever day I have down there, I came here early to go over this, but someone was at my desk, so I wasn't able to. So I'm just off the cuff, really. I was going to write a memo, which I will still do, that will spell out step by step what has happened. But as I say, best laid plans. I thought I had an hour and I didn't to work on it. So now I've lost my train of thought. Jessica does have the new abatements. The prior ones that you signed were not correct. They will just be, I'll keep them in my file, but these are the correct abatements. They will be void, the first ones. That will tell you the amount we had to abate.
Yeah, right here for that one. And then you have to do this one. Okay.
So by abating this, they also know they have to, they still have to pay.
They still, that's what the letter is explaining.
Okay, so by signing this and then they refuse,
no, that's basically housekeeping for us within the system. What it has done is it has left the amount. See, when the taxes go to lien, via any kind of taxes, it's all lumped together. So basically what we have there that we're abating is not only the land use change tax, it's also 2010's property tax. And that's lumped together as a tax lien as of now. So it changes it.
The end result is we're now in compliance with Avatar's direction and our town attorney's guidance.
Yes, we are. We are. And I have said in the letter that I wrote to them that for 1 month from the time they receive the letter is the grace period they have. You'll read it in the letter. After that 1 month period, then it will revert back to being interest bearing at 18%, which is the lien amount, because basically the lien is still on the property just for the lesser amount.
Now, does this all back up to the date, the original date, when all this starts adding up, or does it start brand new?
It starts brand new.
Okay.
It starts brand new.
The reason is because it was our error.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep.
It
Okay.
is our error, and we have to eat it,
Okay.
I'm afraid. The other thing, I'm going to have to get Clifton's signature on these before I send it to Carroll County Registry of Deeds. Now I will send, actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand deliver those up to them. I think that would be a better way to do it. I will tell them just to credit our account with the $14.44 for the fee.
Yeah.
For registry.
They'll bill us, don't worry about it.
So they'll bill us, so instead of sending a check with it, I think I'm going to just hand deliver that up there probably Thursday. And
tell Ann I said hello.
I will do that. So I can take these back, and then I'm gonna start bugging,
And this has been a complicated process. I thank you for all your efforts. I know it's taken a lot of
well,
man
it's,
hours.
the problem is that, nobody anywhere knew how to handle it. I mean, I don't know how come little Brookfield gets these things, but we seem to. So everybody I called, and everybody talked to, I've never had to deal with that. Nobody's had this particular problem, so.
So you have a topic when you go to one of your conferences, you can be the speaker.
Well, actually, the president of the association now, is she still president or someone else, but Rhoda Quint from Conway has shown an interest in our other little problem of our lost deposit. She wants to use that as one of the topics up there too, so I think I'm going to be busy at this year's convention.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Town clerk, nothing. Administrative assistant.
Nothing?
Assessor clerk.
No.
Nothing.
Not now.
I did it.
You did it.
Agricultural Commission, I don't imagine we have anything. Cemetery trustees, I've asked for some input, but I haven't received anything just yet. I don't see our road agent here.
We did have one code enforcement
Issue. Right, and that's being worked. And I can only tell you that there was an issue with a person building on property apparently too close to the water and in violation of the rules about building next to the water. And cease and desist was issued. And the state had a representative here talking to our code enforcement officer, so we're all on the same page, and he's been over and inspected the property.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Good.
so, beyond that point, I don't know, but I do know that the property owner is receiving the straight word, and that's the same word from the state as Eddie had given him.
Wonderful.
So, that's working out well as far as the process goes.
Right. Okay.
I did check with somebody that uses Tumble Down Dick a lot, and their comment on our ground up asphalt that we put on that steep hill is, do the whole road. They love it. So apparently, so far, it's holding up very well. And I'll just leave it at that. Emergency management is not here. School district, yeah, I'd like to just comment that the school opened almost on time. The middle school opened on Monday and the high school opened on Tuesday. They really did need another day to get their classrooms organized. It is amazing what they got done. The students, the teachers, the crews we hired just to move. We had 18 trailer loads of furniture to move in. It was done 3 days. We had teachers bringing stuff from home because when the project started, they took it home to keep it safe. And so school's up and running. There are obviously some things that are not complete. The middle school gym, it'll be another 2 weeks before it's usable. They're putting final finish coats on it right now. You know, they put on a coat and they polish it up and they do it. And that should be in 2 weeks we'll have a middle school gym. The practice gym in the high school is being used as a cafeteria, and as such, they won't put the floor down until the cafeteria operation is moved into the old original high school cafeteria. And that can't be done until we put the 6 skylights in, of which one was in yesterday. And once that space is finished, they'll move the high school area that they have their lunch, then we can put the floor down on the practice gym. The high school gym floor itself right now is being built. When we stripped it down to the concrete base, it was the most irregular floor I've ever seen poured for a basketball court. It was terrible, and it's just going is slower because they're having to do a lot of shimming to get the floor nice and level. It will probably be late November, and the principal of the high school is a little anxious, and 8 basketball teams coming in late November to use that court. So some things are on a very tight schedule. The geothermal is working very well overall. We do have a few areas where it's a little warm here and it's a little cool there. But that's a matter of fine tuning. The students have been very upbeat about their new space. The width of the hallways, which are bigger, they don't run into each other going down the hall anymore. And Bill, you'll appreciate it, but there's a thing between classes, the passing time. Because some of the high school students have classes on the art center on the far side, and they might have their next class at the high school at the other end, it's a hike. And so far all I know is if the passing time is for them to get to lunch, they're making it on time. But we're going to have to be looking at that to see if we have to make an adjustment, just due to the size of our school complex. And again, these are internal issues that'll be worked out, but right now we're short about 250 lockers in the high school. The old high school, they shared lockers. Nobody had their own. It was just you had to share it. When we get done, they'll each have their own locker, but that'll be a little while yet. Mainly because the space we're supposed to put them in isn't built yet. Any questions on the school? Heritage Commission, I mentioned that I'd asked Mary Lou to send that email so we can get moving on there. Joint loss management, we have a new chairman of the committee. So now she's wearing 3 hats. But we have not been idle. I finished about a 30 some odd page document. Joint loss management committee regulation says you have to have a safety policy. I now have a 30 some odd page safety policy, and I'm going to coordinate it through the chairman of the committee and Brad Williamson, because there are things in there for emergency management which he needs to sign off on. I would anticipate that we'll be bringing it to the selectmen's meeting probably late October for discussion. And I would anticipate we would hold a minimum one public hearing on it, just so there are no surprises, because it is a town policy, and then perhaps be adopted sometime in December. The Joint Loss Management Committee's next meeting is December 13th. On the school, I did skip over one thing. Wednesday, October 19th, the school board is meeting here. And I would encourage parents to come. They only come to Brookfield about once a year. We don't really have the best space for them, but we work it out. They just don't really want to meet in the old townhouse because the acoustics is so bad that if you sit at one end of the table, you can't hear people at the other. Anything else on Joint Loss Management Committee, Madam Chairman?
Nope.
It is moving forward. Parks and Recs, nothing. Planning Board, nothing. Webmaster, it's in the works. It might be as early as the middle of October, but right now I'm going to say that officially the start date is the 1st of November. I spoke to Jennifer today. She's checking with them to see what isn't there so we can put a final full court press to be sure all the data is in that we want in there, at least for openers, such as the elected representatives. And I was asking you to get that into the website.
All the minutes are already emailed and everything.
Excellent.
From January to current. I did that last week.
Super. And
You said you were doing the agendas.
somewhere in my stack of paperwork here, I have the minutes, or you have a copy of the Joint Loss Management Committee. We'll need to make a copy and put it in the book.
I already did that.
I love it. She's spoiling me. Bill, you got anything on Webmaster?
No,
How about other?
nothing?
Old business, other than get your budgets in, please.